Welcome to the Boet Erasmus Stadium, where conditions here are quite unbelievable. There is torrential rain, there are gale force winds blowing, and 40,000 people have packed into the stadium. You can see the wetsuits, you can see the hoods, you can see the umbrellas. We came to the ground, there were people streaming home. The capacity of this field is about 55,000, and there we have the British Lions side with a reconstructed backline. They have got Clive Woodward, who has moved from the centre to the wing. Paul Dodge winning his first Lions Test cap. Ollie Campbell starting at fly half, where he took over from Gareth Davies in the second test. The Lions pack shows two changes, one a positional change, and Jeff Squire has moved to number 8, Colm Tucker coming in on the flank. South African side, just one change from the second test side, with Mona van Heerden, number 4, coming back in place of Kevin de Klerk. His Diggers club mate, Mona, getting this position. Here come the Lions, led by Billy Beaumont, number 4, 13, vice captain of the Lions today, Ray Gravel. And of course, number 10, who is Ollie Campbell, with such pressure on him today. A vital game, probably the most vital game of the entire tour. And here come the Springboks. There's Morne du Plessis, captaining South Africa for the 12th time this afternoon. He's captained South Africa in 11 tests and been on the losing side once. A great record for a Springbok captain. I was saying there's a lot of pressure on Ollie Campbell, the Lions outside half. He pulled a hamstring before he had played a game. He's had trouble with his kicking. And there's the other man who has a lot of pressure today, Naas Botha, looking a little bit nervous. His kicking has not been so great in the 2 tests played so far. But of course, everybody very happy with the way Naas Botha has been running the ball. And there is the referee, the French referee, Mr. Jean-Pierre Bonnet. And Ollie Campbell starts the game. Naas Botha. Patterson. Campbell. Nice little jink by Campbell, and a lot of pressure for Geysie Pienaar. Beautifully taken. Well, Geysie will be happy with that one. Getting the ball, a feel of the ball so early in the game. And you can see just how motivated he is there. South Africa playing into the wind. Peter Wheeler with the throw-in. Colclough, Beaumont controlling very well. Carts taken by John O'Driscoll. Very powerful in this situation. Patterson, nice reverse pass. Campbell. Well tackled is Campbell there by the Springbok loose forwards, but a penalty for the Springboks coming over in that maul. And we welcome New Zealand listeners who will, I'm sure, relish these conditions. It is a most typically New Zealand winter's afternoon, and I'm sure that towards the end of this game the players will be virtually unrecognizable. Well, Ollie Campbell took a bit of a thump there. You can see his cheek has been opened up by a cut. Well, one would hope that the Lions don't suffer too appalling situation as far as their injuries are concerned. They've had a massive run of bad luck on this tour, and Ollie Campbell is such a vital player for their aspiration this afternoon. Well, he seems to have recovered. The penalty is going to be taken for goal, and Ollie Campbell it will be who has a go with his first absolutely vital kick. 46 points he scored in last season's 5 Nation Championships. Came with a tremendous reputation. Pulled a hamstring, as I said earlier, before he had played a game. Then pulled a calf muscle in the first appearance that he made. And so he's really had a lot of difficult times on the tour. Ollie Campbell. The flags are up and the Lions lead by 3 points after 4 minutes in the first half of this, the third international. Well, Ollie Campbell, not even a smile coming to his cut face there, but I'm sure he will be very, very happy with that one, putting the pressure on the Springboks. Narsbotha. Peter Wheeler doing very well. Patterson, Campbell, and safely into touch. 8 meters inside the Lions' half. Willie Katz. Good catch there by Welman. Prentice working the ball out. Morne du Plessis. Good work. This is Van Heerden. And the line out to take place almost in exactly the same situation, except Wheeler with the ball. Colin Tucker taking the ball at the back of the line out there. Wheeler again in position, and a penalty to South Africa. Colin Tucker was interfering with Morne du Plessis at the back of that line out. And here is a chance for Narsbotha. With me this afternoon is former South African fullback Mickey Gerber.
It's a very vital kick being taken by Narsbotha. The ball is still fairly dry, and it's important that he gets this one. It's a long kick, it's into the wind, it's a difficult kick. It'll be a very good effort.
He's hit that well, it's looking good. But a little bit short, a little bit to the right of the poles, and Andy Irvin sees it safely dead. The Lions playing with the wind, standing very well back from the 22 there. Long one from Campbell. Pienaar. And directly into touch there. Well, Casey Pienaar not too happily with the way Maurice Colclough tackled him there. But the Lions obviously very aware of this man's flair in the open phases. Wheeler again. Good jump there by Stoffbach. Selfontaine, Botha. This is pressure for Andy Irvin. Beautifully taken by Andy Irvin. A great catch. Jeff Squire trying to work it back. Patterson. Casey Pienaar again in action. And well played by Casey Pienaar. Mort. Selfontaine again. Irvin. Botha, he has a chance for South Africa. Gerrit Gamaseis. Clive Woodward can't gather. Gamaseis can't gather. Campbell in a lot of pressure. And the referee whistle going there. Well, early on in the second test, Andy Irvin put it down the Springboks' throat, and Gerrit Gamaseis managed to score. But there was another one going straight to Narsbotha.
Very good piece of counter-attacking by South Africa. Started by Narsbotha coming across. Very good move indeed.
On the Lions 22, Serfontein with the put in. Here's Rob Lowe, the near side South African flank. Had the distinction, of course, scoring the first try in both of the first two internationals. Richard Prentice obviously not happy with the position that scrum has moved to, and Mr. Bonnet asserting his authority. Springboks had the heel, Du Plessis controlling at the back of that scrum. And that ball is buried amongst the players. One wonders just what they're going to look like at the end of 80 minutes of this struggle. That's Mona van Heerden. Louis Moorman with a beard.
It's an interesting scrumming surface. That whilst it's raining fairly heavily, the field is quite firm on top, but not all that comfortable for the front rankers.
Serfontein waits, Du Plessis feeds, Buerta, David Smith, Mort. This is the Rhodesian, very strong, well tackled there by the British Lions centres. Gravel in the action there, Paul Dodge doing well, and the referee blowing for a penalty. Little bit of a fracas in that maul. Obviously the players on both sides not too happy with what went on in that ruck.
There's a lot of tension in this game, and the ref will have to keep a very firm hand, otherwise we could have some ugly scenes. Rob Lowe ran into that loose scrum, and he certainly kicked that man. The referee was quite correct in awarding a penalty to the British Lions.
And Andy Irvin it is to use the plates kicking method of kicking to touch. One gets an idea of just how poor the conditions are when a player resorts to this tactic. We've seen Andy Irvin do it before, and he does it so extraordinarily well. That's a good touch. The most experienced player on the field this afternoon, Andy Irvin, 44 internationals. Great jump there by Stoffbach. Serfontein under pressure, and I think here's Graham Price just a little over eager. That's the Welsh tight head. And Nas Buerta finding touch, but not too much distance. Number 7 on the Lions side, John O'Driscoll. Colclough going high. O'Driscoll controlling well. Beaumont in there. Lovely ball, Patterson. That's good scrum half play. Beautiful play by the scrum half. Squire taking it on. Well tackled by Morné du Plessis. Here we have the control of the Lions again. Beautiful pass from Patterson. Dodge. And that's a great kick by Paul Dodge, England centre, in only his second game of the tour. You can see he's happy himself with that one. Played against the junior Springboks a week ago, and now winning his first British Lions test cap, although he has played 10 tests for it. Well into Springbok territory, W.B. Bromont. Van Heerden can't control at the back. This is dangerous. And the players obviously having a little trouble there with the wet, slippery ball.
You can't tap the ball in weather conditions like these. That's looking and courting disaster.
Jeff Squire driving in. Lions back row so effective at this maul. And once again, the ball buried in the pile of players. Tremendous pressure for South Africa.
The Lions on a very good attacking position here. Be interesting to see what they're going to do. I would like to nominate that I think they might try and have a pushover try. The scrumming has been very good all right through the series. And it would be interesting to see what their tactics will be here.
Particularly as Richard Prentice, the Springbok loose head, was receiving a little bit of attention there. Oh, that one came out quickly. Great pass from Patterson. Campbell harassed by Serfontein. And Gary Khamasesi it is who eventually scrags Ollie Campbell, given the ball under a bit of pressure there. Well, surprising to see the Lions heeling that ball so close to the line so quickly. Possibly thought they may have caught the Springboks expecting the attempted pushover. Again, Stoffbach takes well. Nas Botha. This is Andy Irvin. Bruce Hay in support. Nas Botha again can't control. They beautifully taken by Campbell. Good football. Oh, that was very good football by Ollie Campbell. Catching and passing the very slippery ball so quickly. Right on the halfway line. 15 minutes gone in the first half. A difficult ball for Patterson, but the referee unhappy with that situation. Colin Patterson with the put in. Jeff Squire again controlling the back. Devan Serfontein getting into the thick of things there. Rob Lowe. And the Springboks caught offsides there. At the moment, Peter Wheeler and Rob Lowe having a bit of a running battle. And Andy Irvin it is who will be taking this kick. That's the halfway line.
Be very interesting to see how this ball travels, because although it's quite a long kick, I think the ball is still fairly dry.
He's hit that very well, but it's going to be short. Nas Botha. And a good kick by Botha into the wind, into the rain, and a useful touch by the young Springbok fly half. That's Tian Stoffbach, Morris Colclough. Peter Wheeler with the throw-in. Colclough going high, Beaumont controlling beautifully. Jeff Squire in there with the rolling maul. Colm Tucker feeds to Patterson, Campbell. Casey Pienaar with the clean catch. Perhaps could have made a little bit more of that. There wasn't too much pressure from the Lions there, but safe enough. And that's a good one. Well, there's the man who scored that great try last Saturday. Between the Springboks 10-metre line and the halfway. Lions ball again. Colclough going up once more. Wheeler controlling in the ground. Du Plessis. That play a little bit scrappy. And Mr. Bonnet wishes them to scrum. Well, there's a bit of trouble going with the front rows there. The surface is slippery. The Lions have an awful lot of experience in their front row. Serfontein waits. Du Plessis controlling. Bruce Hay. Andy Irvin. Oh, you can see the wind taking that one. Great kick by Andy Irvin. Willie Carts it will be. Quick throw in. O'Driscoll working it at the back as he has done so effectively on this tour. Serfontaine to Botha. Again, a lot of pressure from Colin Tucker and Ollie Campbell. And believe it or not, we have the sun breaking through. The rain has stopped, but still quite a strong wind in the Lions' favour. Wheeler deep, O'Driscoll, beautifully played by Squire. Beaumont controls again. Colclough climbing in, the Lions in force on this maul. Patterson, Campbell, Irvin in the line, chance for Dodge here. Dodge very strong, and Mornay Duplessis it is who eventually gets rather a desperate boot to that ball.
Paul Dodge should have played the ball through to the wing on the outside. He was definitely unmarked, and I think had he gone that way, the Lions possibly could have scored. They need points. This wind is very strong, and I believe if they haven't got a good lead by half-time, they could be in trouble in the second half.
Colclough again going high. They were using this method very well. Colclough tapping down to Beaumont. Patterson. And that's a good rolling touch by Colin Patterson. He used the kick from exactly the same position in Bloemfontein in the second test, and the Lions scored a try from it. Very effective little kicks by Colin Patterson. Done so well on this tour with the Terry Holmes, who is favoured to become the number one scrum half, having had so many injury problems. Colclough again down to Beaumont. Wheeler in there, and Serfontaine. A difficult kick, well taken by Bruce Hay. He hoists it. Tian Stoffbach picking it up well. Serfontaine. Well, good play there by Tian Stoffbach. He's done some effective work in the lineouts. And again, a difficult ball for the Springboks to control. There's Billy Beaumont, Louis Moorman, Devan Serfontaine with his hands on his hips, a little scrum half. The Lions coming off sides in that. The Springboks pointed it out, but Mr. Bonnet was on the spot picking it up. 4 offsides in that maul. Nice Botha. That's not out. Bruce Hay back. And an effective touch by Bruce Hay. Picked, I think, in the Lions side on the wing. Played full-back for Scotland. And it's so useful in his cover defence. 21 minutes gone in the first half. 3-0 to the Lions. Tucker works well to Patterson. Campbell, Dodge. Casey Pienaar beautifully in position. A good play by the fullback.
What an exciting footballer this man is. There he is, Casey Pienaar. He's played in all 3 tests against the Lions, and each time he's played better than the previous occasion.
Wheeler with the throw. And the referee indicating there that the Lions interfered with this, that Springboks interfered with the Lions rather in that line out. And one would think that Andy Irvine will be given the opportunity, a little pat on the backside from Billy Beaumont there. Well, Andy Irvine will want to accumulate a couple more points. He is so close to becoming history's all-time record scorer in international games. That's the halfway line. It's a long kick. The wind's blowing almost directly behind the kick. And just to the left of the poles, Mornay Duplessis. Oh, that would have been dangerous if Bruce Hay had been able to control that one. Ray Mort. But the referee quite rightly pulling them back for the knock-on. Well, you can see in quite a few of these mauls, there's a bit of shoving, there's a bit of pushing. I think the Lions so badly want to win. The Springboks, remembering the massacre of 74, want to make it a clean sweep. Serfontein waits. Nasbota. Nice little trick. Kip Patterson in waiting there. David Smith. And there, quite rightly so, the Lions players offsides from that kick ahead, and here is a chance for Nasbota.
Very good refereeing decision that. The Lions player was definitely in an offside position, and here we have a vital kick from South Africa's point of view. If Nasbota can get this one over, it will put them right back into this game.
All the tension on young Nasbota. He's hit it well, it looks good, and it's there!
That was a very good kick into the wind. His kicking this afternoon seems to be much improved from the two previous tests where he battled with his pace kicking at the poles. His rhythm this afternoon is a lot better. He seems to be taking his time, and he's certainly hitting that ball with authority.
18 minutes to play in the first half. 3-3 it is. Campbell with the restart. And the deep one, using the wind effectively. Nasbota it is who controls. Well, I'm sure Nas will be very pleased to have kicked that goal. Mornay du Plessis, a long one. Andy Irvin trying to chap it. Buerta. And a great kick by Nasbota. A beautiful kick, a brilliant kick by Nasbota. And there you can see the rain has started again. Torrential, very, very heavy rain. And a great kick putting South Africa into an attacking position on the Lions 22. Good control by the Springboks forwards. Stoffbach going in, Matlitz Leroux there. Buerta using the little chip into the box again, taken by Colm Tucker. And Tucker, a very good mark by him. It was interesting to see him using his left boot to good effect there. One of the least experienced players in this Lions party, Colm Tucker. Well, I should think he'll probably have a few words to say to the fly half and the full-back about that one. A good touch kick by a flank forward.
If the rain continues like this, I'm afraid this game is going to deteriorate into a bit of a quagmire. It's raining fairly heavily, as you can see.
Again, interference by the Springbok forwards at the line out. Just inside the Lions half. Ollie Campbell with the kick. And Ray Mort, you can see, having difficulty with the slippery ball, putting the Lions right into a very strong attacking position. Peter Wheeler, the Lions hooker. His 6th test match for the Lions, 29 tests he has played in all. Again, Colclough going high, using that tactic. Billy Beaumont, so effective in controlling the ball from Colclough's taps. They've built up a beautiful partnership in this line out. But it's Serfontein with the put-in. The Lions wheeling the scrum. Difficult ball for South Africa. Dodge still going. It's Jeff Squire in there. And the Lions are going forward, so it will be their ball. Patterson with the feed. Is it a chance for Campbell to take a drop? Patterson to Campbell, a lovely little jink, beautiful dummy, and Dodge can't control. Very, very well played there by Morne du Plessis.
Again, a very good refereeing decision. He waited for advantage. There was no advantage, and quite rightly he's given the scrum to the Springboks.
A big shove by the Lions. Devon Serpentine, a little trouble from Tucker, Jeff Squire, Beaumont driving in, Wheeler in there. That's the Springboks goal line. And again, the ball disappearing under a heap of bodies.
Interesting to see what tactics the Lions adopt with the scrum.
Patterson with the feed, beautifully tackled by Serpentine. Buerta coming through with a little kick, well played by Rob Lowe. Serpentine again, and there's trouble. There's Bruce Hayes over. Well, you can see a good tackle by Devon Serpentine. The Springboks a little desperate in defence. Rob Lowe couldn't control it. Devon Serpentine getting the ball again, but under extreme pressure from Don O'Driscoll it is, and a lovely little bounce for Bruce Hay. Well gathered, and over he goes. Well, there's the man who scored the try, Bruce Hay. And a hold up, Campbell just holding up there whilst one of the Springbok forwards receives attention. Tian Stoffbach it is who's walking back towards the poles there.
That was a very vital score on the part of the Lions. If Ollie Campbell can convert this try, that will give them a 6-point lead, which could prove very useful.
And that falls well short. Well, there's a swirling wind on this field. There's a huge grandstand. And there you have the score, 7 points to 3 in the Lions' favour. I was saying there's a huge grandstand which shuts off the wind a little from the side, but the wind swirls around and very difficult conditions for place kicking. Clive Woodward, Campbell. Well, that's a little bit of an untidy one. Nas Buerta back well in defence. Andy Irvin, good positional play. And that's a lovely kick by Andy Irvin. Under pressure from Gerrie Germasees. Just inside the Springboks half. And Tian Stoffbach is certainly in a little bit of trouble there. Referee unhappy with his condition and quite wisely calling the first aid men on. You can see there he's not too happy. It looks like he's done a bit of damage to his knee. And a penalty to South Africa there. Morne du Plessis calling Nas Buerta up to kick, and there comes Herbert Malan. It was Willie Karts who also went off the field earlier on, and Herbert Malan, the Northern Transvaal second team hooker, taking his place. And Narsbuurter using Andy Irvin's method of kicking there to find a good touch for South Africa. That's Evert Milan just doing a few stretching exercises. Stoffberg doing well to take that one. Serfontein, Buerta, here's the drop. But it's sliced away to the right. And the ball going over the dead ball line. Campbell with the restart, well taken by Germas Hayes, taking on Clive Woodward. He's tackled so well on this tour, and good support work from Ray Gravel, the tough Welshman. On the Lions 10-metre line. Wheeler with the throw. Good tap by Moelman, but a little far from Devan Serfontein. He's had a lot of pressure in this game. Not too happy an afternoon behind a slipping, sliding 16 big men. Difficult to control the slippery ball. Colclough again with Beaumont in support. Well picked, and O'Driscoll unable to control that one. Again, interference from the Springboks in the line out, and a penalty to the Lions. And Paul Dodge it will be who uses the left foot. He's got a strong left boot, has Paul Dodge, and he will be kicking for this near side touchline. That's a good kick. He actually hit that very well. That ball bounced on the door next to the Springboks goal line, so it was all of 50 metres carry, but just outside the Springboks 22 where it went out. And here's Evert Milan. Well, they'll need to settle down very quickly. Mona van Heerden unable to take. Rob Lowe under pressure. Serfontein, Buerta. And here you can see Clive Woodward having the conditions, I'm sure, that are everything is difficult that he finds back home playing for Leicester. On the Springboks 10-metre line. Colclough getting up, well controlled by Colm Tucker, and the Lions coming into that maul on the wrong side, and a penalty to South Africa. Once again, Narsbuurter will use the place kick to kick touch. And that's safe and good.
The wind looked like it was dying down early on, but it seems to be coming back very strongly again. And at the moment it's swirling around.
A little bit of encouragement from this drenched and frozen crowd. Colclough again using the tap to good effect. The Springboks climbing in whilst they have more men in that maul than the Lions. Milan in trouble from the Lions. Patterson it is who gets it back. And Evert Milan suffering the indignity of being upended by some of those big Lions men. He must be excited to get in his first test cap. Moorman, but eventually Colclough it is who is doing so well today. Peter Wheeler almost catching Milan offside. Patterson, Campbell under pressure. And a very useful kick by Ollie Campbell there.
Springboks are coming back very strongly just before half-time. There's something like 3 minutes left. The score at the moment 7-3 in favour of the Lions.
That's Maurice Colclough. John O'Driscoll behind him. Patterson, Campbell, all going right under the Springbok forwards there. Patterson again. Well, that looked forward to me. But the touch judge on this side indicating that Clive Woodward stepped into touch. It looked a little bit forward. Perhaps the referee, Mr. Bonnet, would have let it go. Could have been a dangerous situation for South Africa. Woolman doing very well in that line out. Serfontein, Botha. There's pressure for Bruce Hay. Ray Mort there. Good kick ahead by Ray Mort. It could be a little bit too far. Andy Irvine is very quick, and Andy Irvine getting back there. Well, talking to the Lions reserve scrum half John Robbie, he was talking about training the other day, and he said it is just quite unbelievable how quick Andy Irvine is. Campbell with the restart. Deep into Springbok territory, Casey Pienaar. This is where he's very dangerous. Hay getting back for it. Andy Irvine. And a good bounce for the Lions there. On the Lions 10-metre line. Springboks, in fact, enjoying quite good territorial advantage situation right at this moment. And a line out, it'll be on the halfway line. It's getting darker by the minute. And Evert Melendez. Springboks working it back. Serfontein with a trouble, and Peter Wheeler coming away with the ball, but I think from an offside position. He was in front of the ball there when he took it on that blind side. And a welcome penalty to South Africa. Number 8 Jeff Squire, number 6 Colin Tucker, his first test for the Lions. And Nas Botha with a useful kick again, using the place kick method of kicking to touch very effectively, and keeping the Lions, actually for the past 10 minutes or so, keeping the Lions pinned in their own half.
Very vital line out this from the South African point of view. I should imagine from the British Lions point of view as well. They'd like to win it.
Colclough, a good jump. Lions using the rolling maul. Graham Price, number 3, lending his support, taking him on the side there. And the Springboks a little over-eager in that one. Evert Milan it was who came through before Patterson had taken the ball, and Evert Milan laying into Patterson a little there, and Campbell with the touch kick. On the halfway line. That's Paul Dodge. Ray Gravel with the beard. Patterson, Campbell, Dodge. Again with the left boot of his, Clive Woodward up there. Casey Pienaar going in fearlessly. And there we have it, with the score 7 points to 3 in the Lions' favour at half-time. Patterson waits. Campbell using the wet very effectively, but he runs into that where the Springbok forwards. Patterson it is, and Gravel going. Chased by Woodward. Casey Pienaar there. All he can do is just shovel it into touch. Midway between the Springboks halfway line and their 22. Wheeler with the throw. Colcliffe going high to Beaumont, Patterson to Campbell. Campbell under pressure from Duplessis, and how he's managing to dodge those Springbok loose forward. Patterson away again, Woodward. Now Tucker beautifully back inside there. Good drive by the Patterson, and Gravel unable to control. Again the Lions win possession. Patterson going on the short side. This is dangerous for South Africa. Gerrie Hammershus. Oh, and this looks good. This could be great work by, and there's a Springbok offsides there. Must have touched a Lions player because the referee not calling up for offsides. Good ball to Botha. Bruce Hay getting back. He's not all that quick, and a dangerous situation for the Lions. And he's scragged by Ray Mort. It's not in touch. Casey Pienaar is very dangerous in this situation. Jeff Squire getting back for the cover. Well taken by Colm Tucker. And Ollie Campbell it is eventually who takes that ball very well. Number 1, Richard Prentice. Willman going high, but that ball not in straight. The referee let him play go on. Nice ball to the little dummy. And the play very scrappy, very, very difficult handling conditions. Lions again wheeling the scrum, making it a difficult ball for Serfontein. He goes right through. He has a chance for Serfontein. And Moorman, it is Moorman who goes through, but the referee called him back for a penalty. Serfontein was held in that tackle. The ball hit the ground, and Serfontein passed the ball off the ground, and the referee quite rightly blowing the Springboks up for that penalty. Well, a very difficult situation for the Lions. There we have it again. You'll see how Serfontein somehow manages to burst through that melee of players. Now watch how he gets tackled, held in the tackle there. A lovely tackle by Clive Woodward. The ball touches the ground, and welcome relief for the Lions. A short line out called by the Springboks.
First one today, incidentally. We haven't had any of those before. Variation in tactics by the Springboks. Be interesting to see what happens.
Moorman going up well for it. Serfontein. Botha, this could be a drop. And it's there! Jeff Squire giving a good ball to Patterson, charged down by Martins Leroux. Good recovery by Colin Patterson, but the referee calling the scrummage back for the knock-on by the Springboks. The Lions have heeled it. Patterson well tackled by Stoffberg. Colm Tucker. Campbell can't take it, taken on again by Tucker. And a bit of a argy-bargy there amongst the forwards. This developing into a bit of an unsightly brawl.
Completely unnecessary fighting. It's the first time we've really seen that on this tour.
And the referee will have his work cut out to the Lions barging into that scrum there, and the referee calling them to order.
Very good refereeing decision once again. Mr. Bono's got a very firm grip on this game, and I sincerely hope he keeps it going along those lines.
To keep their chances alive. And a deep kick there, way into the Lions in goal area, and Andy Irvin it is who sees the ball over the dead ball line.
Again, very clever piece of rugby by Nice Botha. He was right on the touchline, obviously couldn't go for a long one, and opted for kicking the ball deep into the in goal area, and he's come back to the 22-metre line.
Peter Wheeler trying to control. Will it becoming a game of penalties now as the players are obstructing, barging and pushing a bit? And I think that the conditions have a great deal to do with the present situation. Andy Irvine again with the place kick for touch. That's safely into Springbok territory. Yvette Milan, number 16 on his back, replacement for Willie Karts, who was injured. A lot of tapping in the line out. Ray Mort finding it difficult to take the ball. Lions driving in, well picked up by Colin Tucker and John O'Driscoll. Lions making ground in the maul. Patterson going right through, well taken there by Moorman. Again it's Lions ball. Springboks offsides there. Well, here's a chance for the Lions. This is a relatively easy kick for Ollie Campbell. There you see the angle and the distance, and it should be a relatively easy one for the Irish fly half. A little bit of perhaps unintelligent play there by the Springbok forwards. Well, this is Ollie Campbell's third attempt at goal. He kicked a penalty early in the game. And that's there. 3 points to the Lions, making the score now 10 points to 6 in the Lions' favour with 28 minutes to go in the second half. Nice ball to the kick-off. The Springboks climbing in, Moorman in the van. Very good work by the Lions forwards. Patterson not too happy with being interfered by John O'Driscoll there, directly into touch. Patterson just having a little word with his Irish teammate Ollie Campbell, who's saying, give me the ball, probably let me control the game from the fly half position. Duplessis with the tap, Rob Lowe controlling Serfontaine, Buerta, skip to David Smith, Casey Pienaar on the line, Ray Mort, he's very strong, and Ray Mort will have to let that one go. Ray Mort just holding on again in the tackle, the ball very definitely touching the ground. Good tackling by the Lions backs there. Bruce Hay, a very firm tackle on the powerful Ray Mort.
Interesting to note that the Springboks are prepared to run the ball out to the wings despite the weather conditions, which certainly are not in favour of good back play, but there we saw it. Springboks quite happy to run the ball.
And as the sun breaks through the clouds, Andy Irvine kicks for touch. Well taken, beautifully taken by Casey Pienaar, but the touch judge ruling that that ball was out. Casey Pienaar not too happy with the decision. And again, a good attacking position for the British side. Colm Tucker at the back of the line out doing good work. He's had a very good debut for the British Lions. And we had the Lions forwards coming over that maul, preventing the ball coming out on the Springbok side. Naas Buerta with the clearance. That's not into touch. Hay waits. Well taken by Bruce Hay, the scorer of the Lions try. And I'm sure that Bruce Hay will be pretty pleased with his performance today. That's Louis Moorman with the beard, Maurice Colclough with the headband, Devan Serfontaine. The timing a little out in that line out. Moorman going for it too early, beautifully dived on there by Jeff Squire. And the referee not happy with the Lions' method of going into these mauls. And here's a chance for South Africa.
Again, it's a very vital kick. Nasbuurter kicking with the wind, which is still very strong. If he can get this one, it will close the gap to 1 point. And from the Lions' point of view, of course, I'd like to see this one not go through the uprights.
Nasbuurter with the difficult one. He's hit that very badly. I think his head came up on that one. Clive Woodward bouncing over the ball, and Nas not happy with that effort. And it'll be play to be restarted again from the 22. Ollie Campbell. Good catch by the Springboks, and it's Buerta again. Little chip kick into the box. Jeff Squire covering well. Mornay du Plessis scrags him. Peter Wheeler waits up, and it's Patterson to Campbell, and good play there by Jeff Squire. You can see that the Lions have developed a second line of defence by making the change. Squire moving to the number 8 position in place of Derek Cornell, and there we saw how effective it has been. Colm Tucker having a very good game this afternoon, getting around the field and making such a difference to the Lions defence when the play is spread. Yvette Milan again, Willman going high. Again, it's the Lions in possession. Peter Wheeler again looking for possession. Willman works it out to Serfontein, to Kerichamas Hayes. And a penalty to the Lions for Springboks interfering with the Lions players and chasing that kick ahead. And Paul Dodge it will be in his first game for the British Lions. And a useful touch by Paul Dodge. Again, the Springboks using the short line out. Willman going up, good anticipation by Squire. Here comes the drive, such good control. Colclough going very well. John O'Driscoll working it in there. Patterson, a beautiful Billy Beaumont. Here goes the British captain. And Patterson it is again to Campbell. This is dangerous for South Africa. Clive Woodward going through very fast. Mornay du Plessis in possession. And very good anticipation there by Clive Woodward, chasing that kick up very well. And a lot of pressure for South Africa.
Their tactics very well here today.
Well, Billy Beaumont has recovered. He's very tough. He took an awful crack in the second test on the knee, but he kept going, and he's back in the engine room of that scrum. Patterson feeds. A good scrum by the Lions, keeping it awfully straight. A little bit of a wheel now, perhaps brought on by their own desire. And again, it'll be a Lions ball. Colm Tucker waiting for it. We'll see the drive again from Colm Tucker. No, but it's to Campbell with the scissors. Dodge unable to handle there. David Smith through, but the referee calling them back for the knock.
Again, waiting for the advantage, and then seeing that there was no advantage, quite rightly giving the scrum to the Springboks.
Serfontein feeding that scrum. Serfontein waits to Buerta. That's straight down the field. Clive Woodward. It'll be interesting to see if he can take that. Beautifully taken by Woodward. Andy Irvin coming up in support. Bruce Hay there. And unable to take advantage of that ball. Casey Pienaar, good positional play. But the Lions forwards firmly in control now. Still playing against the wind. The rain has thankfully stopped. But the Lions showing the experience of perhaps having played in more wet weather than the Springboks. Wheeler going in well, but in an offside position. And the referee getting a word from one of the Lions players there. Billy Beaumont chastising him a little for having interfered with the ref. And Nasbuurter. And that's a lovely kick by Nasbuurter.
Good bit of sportsmanship there by Bruce Hay. Noticing that it was a very good kick, he applauded a very good kick.
Peter Wheeler with the throw. Cole Clough again going high with a Springbok ball. Safontaine, Botha, David Smith, the little scissors. Gary Khamis coming in well. Ollie Campbell in defence. And the referee blowing up for that knock on again. The Springboks finding it difficult to handle the slippery ball. Patterson with the feed. Squire again doing good work there. Duplessis, Safontaine's in trouble from his opposite number. Germes Hayes. Patterson takes him. Safontaine again. Oh, a difficult pass for him to have taken there to Nasbota. Martin Slow going in, Perrin looking for that ball, and again a little bit of trouble there. The referee controls it very quickly. John O'Driscoll unhappy with something Rob Lowe did there on the Springboks 10-metre line. Quick ball to Patterson on the short side. Woodward in support. Woodward just a little hop inside there, and a good running off the ball by Clive Woodward. He's come so good on this tour, has the man originally picked as a centre, but moved so effectively to the wing position.
The Lions are using the correct tactics for this kind of weather, playing the ball close to the scrums, close to the fringes, keeping it in front of their forwards going forward.
Again controlled from Tucker to Campbell with the hoist. Ray Gravel coming through strongly, well taken by Gary Germes Hayes. Germes Hayes standing his ground there very well under the onslaught. But it's Lions ball. This is dangerous for South Africa. Tucker, Patterson trying to go on the short side. He's held up. And again, Patterson perhaps being in a position to feed the men outside him there. He did it in the second test when the Springboks were under such incredible pressure, and perhaps a little bit of impetuosity by Colin Patterson. And that scrum going down on the tight head side. Quick heel for the Lions. Patterson again. Beautiful pass by Patterson. Andy Irvin very nearly got in there. And that'll be Springboks ball. Well, that was a very, very close call for South Africa. Andy Irvin sneaking up on the short side, and he very, very nearly got in there.
Tremendous pressures by the Lions at the moment. One wonders how the Springbok tackling can hold out, but they seem to be at the moment. But the Lions are coming back into this game very strongly, and at the moment they are definitely on top.
16 minutes to go in this third test match. 10 points to 6 the Lions lead. Safontaine to Botha. Again a lot of pressure from Tucker. And a good kick. Very, very good relieving kick by Nasbota. The Lions this time calling for the short line out. Beaumont and Cole Clough they have. And Moorman it is who gets the first hand to the ball. The players must be very careful here not to go off sides. That's the Springboks 22. Martin Sleroux and Clive Williams this side of that front row. Had an awful lot of scrumming to do this afternoon. Safontaine at the back to Botha. Straight down the middle. This is a bouncing ball. Here's a chance for David Smith. Very well gathered in there by Andy Irvin, doing extremely well. Patterson waits. And the Lions working that ball out there, but Monsieur Bonnet decides that the ball will not emerge. 14 minutes to go, plus a little bit of injury time. Patterson feeds. Campbell. Oh, good kick by Ollie Campbell. That's keeping the pressure on the Springboks, with the Lions controlling the ball as they are. That's all they need to do to retain their 4-point lead, is just control the ball, keep the forwards going forward. And Milan it will be for South Africa. Moorman going very high with the one-handed tap. Serfontein, Botha. Lions unable to take it. Patterson doing well there. Scragged by Botha, but good control by Colin Patterson. So adapted to the conditions very well.
It's a very useful lead the Lions have, to be leading the game 10-6 at this stage, with the weather conditions not getting any better, in fact deteriorating, the ball getting slippery, making handling very, very tricky.
And interference from the Lions there, and a penalty to South Africa. And Casey Pinard will be, and this is, I suppose, what would call a little bit of a desperate move by the Springboks. That's the South African 10-metre line. There you have the distance. It's not too much of an angle. The wind has died down a little bit. It is still in the Springboks' favour, and Casey Pinard will be to attempt a potted goal.
If he gets this one, it'll be a magnificent kick in these weather conditions. I think he's going to find it difficult to have a firm footing for his kick, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Pino having a bit of trouble with the wind blowing the ball over. That's his captain giving him a little assistance. He kicks for his province, Free State, and that's going to be well short, very well short. Patterson in possession, and a good clearance by Colin Patterson. Not easy to kick a torpedo with this ball, and Colin Patterson certainly having an outstanding game. Again the short line out by the South Africans. Moorman going up, Stoff back, doing well. Van Heerden wedging in exceptionally well. Serfontein, Botha, Duplessis in there. Rob Lowe, Richard Prentice helping, Mona van Heerden working in, and Serfontein with the kick. This bounces favourably for South Africa, but no, it's gone the Lions' way. And there you see Colm Tucker, flank for the Lions, getting back so well in cover. There he is, his first test match for the British Isles, and what a good afternoon it's been for him. Campbell with the restart. Van Heerden going in, Beaumont taking well. Oh, the Springbok coming off sides there, but the referee allowing the advantage.
But there again we saw the control of the Lions. They kicked off from the 22-metre line. The ball was really meant for the Springboks, but the Lions got possession.
Beaumont at the front, but not in straight or 5 metres, and a scrummage it will be. That's the Lions' 10-metre line. Serfontein with the feed. To Botha. This is a dangerous situation for the Lions. Woodward getting back, and a useful kick by Naas Botha there, putting the Springboks into a good attacking position. And they're just off back, and Khamasais has scored. Well, Khamasais scored there, catching the Lions unawares.
Bit of quick thinking there on the part of the Springboks.
Well, there's the kick from Naas Botha. Woodward, all he could do was put it into touch. Now watch how Gerrie Khamasais runs and fetches the ball. comes back. Watch how the Lions are caught unawares here. Tian Stoffbach running in, taking the ball. Quick handling by Stoffbach, allowing Gerry Hammershus to score his third try of the series.
Very vital kick coming up here by Narsbotha. The scores are tied at 10-all. There's something like 10 minutes left in this game. It's a very vital kick.
Narsbotha from touch. And he's hit it, a beautiful kick by Narsbotha. An incredibly good kick by the Springbok fly half under a lot of pressure. And I'm sure that will do a great deal for what it must have been his waning confidence. There, I'm sure that Mornay du Plessis said to Nars, just control it now, keep your forwards going forward and keep us playing in the Lions half. Well, a careless mistake by the Lions there, a little bit of lax in concentration, and I'm sure they won't be too happy with the situation now. Mona van Heerden not able to take that one. Lions driving in, desperation situation for the Lions. And that ball not coming through. The Lions going forward, so it'll be there put in.
Very interesting to see the tactics that are used by the Lions now. There's something like 10 minutes left, 8 minutes left in this game, and they've got to start using it if they want to win.
And again, the wet conditions underfoot causing the front rows to crash to the ground. Patterson to Campbell, a little switch there. Campbell with the clever grubber kick, Pina in position, a lot of pressure from Clive Woodward, and the Lions back in an attacking position, but they just seem to be unable to score a try. Wheeler with the throw. 6 minutes to go in this test match. Colcliffe going up well, Stoffbach can't take. O'Driscoll working it out well there. Peter Wheeler. Colm Tucker climbing in. Patterson, Campbell with a lovely little jink and the hoist. Difficult situation for Casey Pienaar, and Casey Pienaar, beautiful catch under pressure. Great work by the Springbok fullback.
Brilliant piece of rugby by Casey. There we saw the flair of the man once again. Under pressure, tremendous catch.
That one with the wind. Great relief for the Springboks.
It's interesting to note that the Lions are still persisting with the slow roll, which they're so good at doing. But I think this is costing them valuable time, and this test match is running out of time. They've got to start using the ball.
Patterson, Malone getting into Patterson there, and a bad ball from the Lions forwards to Colin Patterson. That's on the halfway line. South Africa's throw. Wheeler working the ball there, but the Lions need to open up the play a little bit now in order to get up to Springbok territory. One saw it illustrated very clearly there, the slowness of the Lions rolling maul. And one just gets the impression that perhaps they are killing the ball too often now.
The Lions have to use the ball. They just have to take on the Springboks at back now. They've got to use the ball and get it away into the open spaces.
Patterson again on the short side. Casey Pienaar in position. And again, pressure from Clive Woodward will John O'Driscoll trying to do what Gary Khamis did earlier on, but the Springboks are wise to it. Tucker, good tap. Squire unable to take it there. Khamis coming through on Patterson. And again, no sign of the ball. On South Africans 22. Will Ollie Campbell try a drop here? A little bit of mix up there. They're opening up the play. Paul Dodge has a chance for the Lions. Andy Irvin in position. And Bruce Hay it is who's unable to take. And a penalty given to the Lions for a tackle by Ray Morton. Andy Irvin, it was a little bit late. And here is a chance for Ollie Campbell. Well, if ever there is pressure for a player, this is it. Ollie Campbell, this kick, I think, really decides the test series. And if Ollie Campbell kicks this one, he keeps the Lions' chances alive.
There can't be more than something like 3 or 4 minutes left for play, so one can understand how critical this kick is.
And again, you see the difficulty in placing the ball. The wind still blowing quite strongly. Campbell is kicking it almost directly across the wind. You'll need to aim for possibly just the left hand upright in the hopes that the wind will take the ball across the poles. What pressure. And he's hit it a bit too far right. And Nasbuurte it is, takes well. And Ollie Campbell not quite allowing for enough for the wind. Mono Duplessis calming the Springboks down. They don't want to make a mistake now from this kickoff. I'm sure Nas will try and kick a long one. And it is long. Clive Woodward waits. They'll have to open it up from here. And Woodward going through the middle very well. Andy Irvin in support. And Casey Pienaar, there's the positional play. And it was Casey Pienaar who called for a mark, given it by the referee. Great positional play again by Casey Pienaar, who's really been one of the stars in this Springbok side. The referee not picking up that David Bernal was in front of the ball there. Clive Woodward with another chance. Again, he's opening it up. Campbell unable to make much with that.
The right tactics by the Lions. They've got to use the ball. They've got to take on the Springboks. They've got to counter-attack. Clive Woodward ran very well there. So did Andy Irvin.
Just outside the Lions 10-metre line, Moorman going up beautifully and the two-handed catch. Great ball by Moorman. Safontaine using the right tactics. Difficult ball for Woodward. And the ball directly into touch. Peter Wheeler obviously wants to get on with the play quickly. 1 minute of actual time to go. And the Springboks gaining possession now. Obviously the scent of victory in their nostrils to Campbell, from Patterson to Dodge, Gravel. The Lions opening it up, but perchance a little bit late. Campbell, Bruce Hay. And a good attacking kick there by Bruce Hay. One saw his limitations in pace there. Bruce Hay, a heavy man for a three-quarter, but a good and a well-placed kick.
I thought he should have kept that ball on the field, actually. At this stage, every ball is vital, and by kicking that ball out, he's given possession away to the Springboks.
Again, Wheeler doing very well there. Campbell to Wood. Dodge very strong on his feet. Lions still making ground. They'll need to open this ball up very quickly. Patterson to Campbell. And Campbell doing well there to get ahead. The little kick through. Bruce Hay with a chance. And the Lions calling for a trip. Peter Wheeler asking the referee whether that wasn't perchance a trip. And a little for South Africa.
Well, full time is up.
Again, the long kick from Casey Pino, Andy Irvin. 44 test matches he's played, and he knows full well the game's got to be opened up. Ray Gravel, ball running through. Evert Malan's tackle, very strong. Beaumont doing well. Jeff Squire, oh, good ball by Jeff Squire. Colin Patterson, again, one wonders whether he was wise in getting rid of that, but putting the Lions, he was on his own, putting the Lions into an attacking position, but one wonders whether perhaps he wouldn't have been better off with a hoist, keeping the ball in play. A desperate situation now for the British Lions.
They want to win this line out. It's a Springbok put in, but if the Lions can win it, they'll have to run it. They must retain possession and use it.
Are we into injury time now? Serfontaine, a chance for Serfontaine here. He's doing very well to get his clearance in there. And there, the referee's whistle has gone. And the South Africa with a penalty, a drop goal and a goal. 12 points to the Lions, 2 penalties and a try by Bruce Hay. The South African side win the Test series. 3 points to 0, 3 matches to 0, they go ahead in the lead, and South Africa have clinched this Test series.
Met zijn ervaring, denk ik dan is maar hij klop gebruikt. Verkeerde stopwerk terug naar hom en zijn drie gaan terug. Met andere woorden, Zuid-Afrika in die wedstrijd met prestatie, een schipsloopjes en de doel teenoor die Britse eilanden, zijn strafdoel, met 3 keer doel zijn wat niet verdoeld kon worden en de strafschop hier aan die Campbell. De laatste boek die van Johannes Verrij. Dank. Het is wel een baie en moraal van die Springboks teken Januari kort voor jaar gemaakt met 3 van wij zijn weer wat ondervinding betekent. Jerry, zelfs zei baie dingen wat je is man is wij zijn weer man van die kwammeling. En wat wanneer iemand daar zo doet zo heel veel niet kan doen. Zo iets baie die Britse eilanden wordt in hierdie reeks geklopt in hierdie stadium met 3 oorwinnings teenoor 0. Hulle verloor hierdie toets met 10 punte teenoor Suid-Afrika se 12. En van die Boetie Erasmus stadion af waar dit koud is en miskien weer gaan die net nou terug na die warmte van die ateljee in Johannesburg.